first thing being about five or 6 years ago, a friend of mine showed me a picture of Tennessee Williams on the cover of his memoirs, and it kind of there was a resemblance there, so that kind of freaked me out. But it intrigued me, it interested me in this man, and I started little by little, year by year, since I was in the theater. I started learning more about him, more about his works, and then every year I did a play of his called The Big Game, which was a short play, and then I did The Glass Menagerie, a stage reading of that, and then I did Streetcar Named Desire. And then the big thing that inspired me was I started watching interviews on his with him on his life, and there was just so much going on behind his eyes when they would ask him a question. They'd ask him a simple question, and there was just so much going on inside this guy's mind, and I wanted to get in there and try to see what was going on and hopefully make something to give people a little idea of maybe some of the things that may have been going on in this great artist's mind.
You know, I've said this often, in times of great distress, I pray. I don't think of God as somebody who's listening to individual appeals, but I think the act of praying is solace.
I'm feeling really excited about the screening. We put in a lot of work to this thing, and I can't wait to share it with people and see what they feel and just get some feedback and keep moving forward with it. And yeah, I'm excited so that the people who don't know Tennessee Williams become aware of him. That's what I wanted to say earlier. I want people to become aware of this wonderful man and his great work. The cast and crew is amazing. First off, James, my buddy James, he's the man. I was blessed to know James in high school, but that was before we were into acting or film, and I ran into him a few years later, and I had the script and I brought it to him, and he was the most excited person about this thing. And James is very passionate, very humble, very giving, very collaborative, very artistic, and he's the best person an actor would want to have on set, because he gives you this sense of freedom and this sense of relaxation, which gives you the thing you need as an actor to just open up and feel free to fail. Because when you have someone like that behind the camera, you feel like they're not judging you. My friend Gene, he came and held the mic for a couple days, and in Genesis, I'm just really thankful that these people came and helped out. I'm so happy that I went out to California to do this class, and when I was in this acting class, it was casting director Matthew Berry, his 4-week workshop. I saw Joy's work for 4 weeks, and I was just floored by her talent. So I was like, wow, this girl's amazing. I knew I wanted to work with her. We didn't get to do any scenes in the class together, but I felt there was this kind of connection, and we would hit it off as actors if we got to work with each other. And as I was writing this thing and I was reading about Rose, I was like, I've got to get Joy. And that was the most nervous I was sending Joy an email with a script to ask her to be a part of this, because I'm a first-time writer, director, and I thought she would say no, but luckily she agreed, and she was amazing. It was a very collaborative experience, and me and Joy put in a lot of work and time into building this bond, this loving bond between Tom and Rose, and I'm look forward to working with her again. And Eric plays the interviewer, and also an actor in the film, and Eric was just great. Nick was another one who I was glad to have on board. He came down from Detroit to do this, and he's just a joy of a person, a powerhouse actor. Amy plays the mom. She's wonderful. Glad I met Amy in acting class too a few years ago. Jay Bloomrosen, who plays the producer, met him at Barnes & Noble, offered him the part. He said, yeah, that was cool. Tyler and Philip also in the movie. I did a couple plays with them. And Sandra, who's in the movie, I met through James. She's a wonderful person, and I'm glad she was on board too, and I can't wait to see her at the premiere.
Tom, Richie is, when I first met him, I thought he was super, I think we both thought we were super quiet to each other and super reserved, and I think that was such an attraction for both of us because we saw such a common ground in each other. And knowing that what I saw in him was like a quiet confidence, and that just came out through his work. He was super confident, he had such vulnerability, and he brought that out in me, you know, like say the best acting is brought about by your fellow actor. And Richie, him and I have, you know, great chemistry together, and we talked about it. I mean, we would sit down for hours and hours and hours and just talk about like 3 lines of you know, one scene, and then like hours and hours and hours later, like just talking about 3 more lines, you know, and that's just where the heart and craft of acting and the passion of it all come from, and Richie just brought the best out in me, so.
Rose.
Let's all die together.
Wow. I mean, there's so much depth with their relationship. You know, it's Tennessee Williams, or Tom, had so much respect for his sister, and just so much he was so inspired by her, you know, her delicacy and her beauty and her torture. You know, she was a tortured soul.
Boy, I've seen all things in this world and understood most of them. That's what made me the man I am today.
How would you explain your character?
I believe he was, he loved his son. I think he was a complicated character just because of, he had a lot of different issues and demons to deal with. But all in all, I liked getting the chance to play that character.
And did you have fun on set?
I actually had a blast on the set. One night we filmed was the night of the national championship when Alabama won their first one. And had a great time with these guys. It was an awesome, I can't wait to work with them again.
You see, we're closing the play.
Are you nervous to see yourself on the big screen?
No, not at all. I actually really enjoy it, but that's the large ego of an actor at work.
So tell us a little bit about your character.
I actually played a real producer, and I did some research, and it's a guy who came in and closed down Tennessee's one of his first productions, and I seem to be typecast all the time as evil, nasty guys that ruin people's dreams, and here I am again. I guess it's typecasting.
So Eric, the man with many hats, tell us about your character.
Well, actually, I play 2 characters in the film. I play a young actor with hopes of stardom who actually comes very close to Tennessee Williams. And then I also play a reporter. So, yeah, it's very fun, very challenging. I think the young actor was probably the most challenging role.
How did you get involved with Ten Williams?
Well, basically, Richie came to me and he goes, you know, I got a script coming up, and I want to see if you'd be right for a part or 2. And so I kind of sat down and had a little read through with him, and everything worked out. So
I was working at Barnes & Noble as a clerk, and Richie came in, and we just had really similar tastes about film, and then he started becoming a regular customer, and one day he walked in and said, I have a movie and I have a part for you. Would you like to do it? And I was overjoyed.
Well, me and Richie go back. We go back to actually our college days. We've been on stage together, so I was so happy the fact that he reached out to me and said, hey, you know, you want to come help out? And I was like, yeah, of course, anything for Richie.
Richie had called me. We had did some improv together. He had seen me do that on stage before, and liked what I saw, sent the script to me. I came down from Ohio, and the rest is in the movie now, I guess.
What was your experience like?
Incredible, awesome. Had a lot of fun with the guys. love James. James is great. Richie, of course, good friend. And just, we had a lot of fun, a lot of improvisation, and just there was a lot of flexibility in the scenes, and it was fun.
Well, I had a great experience working with the crew, mostly with Richie and the guys behind the scenes. But we had a great time, and it was a wonderful experience for me.
Well, my experience was very enjoying. It was a great experience. I'm always happy to work with my boy Richie, so it was good.
Very cool. I so enjoyed working with Rich, great actor. One day of shooting, that was it, in the Lake Worth Playhouse, and I ended up actually working there as well, so everything worked out great for me, but I really enjoyed doing that scene in the film. So.
It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. No, actually, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in a film before. Like, my background is more of in theater, and it was so like actor driven, and so it was just a passion project. And I think Richie and I have that in common, where we're like very actor driven, and if you have actor driven pieces and the through line of the project, it just makes it so much more rise to the top, you know what I mean? So I just had the best time with a 4-person cast and crew, because it would be me and Richie, and then James, who is our amazing DP, and then, like, you know, it would rotate different sound people. I would want people to take away from this movie is obviously their immense close relationship that they had in this like weird and sometimes incestual, but they weren't incestual relationship that they had with each other, that inspired so much of Tennessee Williams' works.
I want people to get an appreciation of Tennessee Williams, the man, not the big artist we know. Yes, he's a great artist, he's a great writer, but I want them to really take a look at this person as a man and see what he went through, his struggles, and the things he put into his art, the sacrifices and the pain that it took to make these beautiful plays that we all love. I want people to see the behind the scenes, the insides of what's going on with this man, and also to be aware of the things, the schizophrenia, the things that are going on with his sister Rose, and how delicate that can be, and how you should handle a situation like that. And if you have kids, you know, just listen to them. You know, there's something inside them. Just listen to your kids, and kids, speak up to your parents if you have a problem. You might be scared, but just speak your mind. And yeah, I just want people to appreciate it, and just read more about Tennessee Williams, the man, the myth, the legend.
There should be a Bravo now.
Hey, why are you running away from me, boy? I've been calling your name for God knows how long, huh? There. Hey. Bang, bang, bang.
Action.
Hey! Hey! Hey now, you're a rock star. You guys ready? Tell me when you're ready.
I'm rolling.
Shut up! Hey, listen! Here's